Kosovo wasn't an easy place to grow up during the war. I'm happy I'm alive. My name is Uta. I am a mountain climber. My dream was to put Kosovo flag on top of the world. Mountains mean everything to me.
So really just one of those inspirational shorts where I didn't know what was going to happen. It wasn't very predictable at the start. Usually with these things, I think it kind of introduces someone and then it goes through a physical downfall for them or something, and it's the rise up. In this case, it was not that, and it was just going through the war and then everything about the difficulties of climbing a mountain and everything, the physicalities that have to go with it, and just weathering the storm and the avalanches and all of that. So this was actually a really interesting watch for myself, and just to kind of hear the journey of where she came from, where she's going, kind of what her desires are and what kind of her goals are to be in the future. So yeah, it was very interesting to kind of hear everything that she's been through, and again, having to go through the war and just um, having that as a memory ingrained in her, and still being able to find joy in climbing was something that is just very inspirational, and I feel like will help a lot of people realize that there are worse things that could happen, but you can find joys in any hobby or anything that you genuinely like. And for her, it was climbing, and you can just see the passion just radiating from her, how much she loved doing it, and just all the time that was spent doing it. So there's a lot of great footage with this, a lot of personal footage, which I feel like was really well done in terms of editing and putting it all together. And yeah, it was just a really interesting and fun watch
And
for
she was
me.
a pretty compelling character, and her history. When Yugoslavia fell apart, all these factions that had been held together by the communists, suddenly it started attacking each other, and there was a huge war between the Serbians and the Albanians, and it was just a mess. And so she had to survive that, and then became this. She did what she was trying to do, and became a huge celebrity. Amazing. Um, so it's pretty compelling. It was probably a little bit too long, but overall, it was a pretty interesting, engaging portrait of this young woman.
Oh, so inspiring. She was just such a compelling subject with her zest for life in the face of past adversity and a difficult upbringing in terms of country politics. And on the climbs, I thought through the filming and through the immediacy, you really did feel that present danger of the environment and the danger inherent in the sport. Great filming vision. I think the assortment of the self camera for the raw footage, the larger sweeping shots that captured the immensity and the majesty of the mountains, which I think is integral for understanding that desire to conquer and to go to these places that feel like the top of the world. And also the interviews with her parents. I thought it was just really well rounded to encompass her life and get a really good sense. You felt like at the end you were invited into her family, into her community, and it was exciting. I very much was living vicariously through her.
Very inspirational film. You thought the story was well told. We You got a glimpse into, what made this woman, what made her who she is, what drives her, and so when we got to the crux of the movie, the summit push, we really were like in her camp and wanting for her to succeed because we were right there in her corner, having followed her through her story, and so proud of her that she ended up being the first person from Kosovo and a woman to do it. Great job, way to go. Thought it was well filmed. Really liked the nature shots. I love those beautiful mountainscape pictures. They were so well captured, and I thought they were well placed within the film also to keep in the front of our minds what her passion is, what she's going for, and what this whole film was about. So yeah, good story, well told, very engaging character. Loved her story, and very inspiring. I hope that people see this story and are inspired by it to pursue their own passions and to just not let people say you can't do it. Just keep pushing, driving, and keep going. Very inspirational.
So I was so fascinated by every aspect of the story, the climb for Kosovo. I think mountains are just, in general, super powerful metaphor, and it was really interesting to see the subject not only, conquer the mountains that she was climbing, but, overcoming the mountain of war and overcoming the mountain of gender discrimination. I thought it was really powerful, and, all of that was emphasized by the beautiful visuals, and it was just a really exciting story that gave a lot of insight into just how, brutal but also gratifying, climbing major mountains are. And it just really highlighted the bravery of the climbers and why they're so passionate. And it was just a great story about overcoming trauma, and just was a great portrait of a really inspiring person. So great job.
What a wonderful story. I didn't know this. I wasn't familiar with this story at all. I'm really happy that I've seen it now. Uta is such a wonderful person, What's such a nice thing for the just the determination and innovation of this one person to rally the support and the love of an entire country. And she's just brought a kind of happiness to Kosovo, and she's bringing a sense of dignity to the children that she's going to meet and that she's telling of her adventures to. It's just so wonderful, to be that one person, that 1% that really stands out to make a difference. This was a wonderful movie. It was wonderfully made. The story was beautifully told, and through visuals and through Uta's narration and the interviews, and wonderful use of beautiful scenery that was shot here. The editing was paced wonderfully. It was wonderfully directed. Everybody on camera did great, and Uta was just so likable, So I'm glad that she's a national hero, because I just like her a lot. I want good things for her, and I want good things for Kosovo here now that I've seen this. So bravo on this piece. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for making it.
Wow, what a great story. Really inspiring. I've never thought too much about mountain climbing or why people want to climb mountains, and I love the way that we hear Uta's story and her motivation, and just kind of it's her personal story, but there's so much more that she's climbing for, and I loved how that came through in the documentary. It was really inspiring, really great, and it's given me a greater appreciation for mountain climbing as a sport. Extremely well done.